Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. I do not usually like to do like box opening, like this is what I bought videos, but I did just recently trade for a pretty large Flesh and Blood collection, and I wanted to utilize this as an opportunity to explain how to utilize my collection tracker a little bit better. Even for those of you who have used the collection tracker, I think there's ways that I haven't done a great job of explaining of how to use. So I'm going to show you some of that stuff, and then also show you some new things that we've added to the Discord server where you can actually make some reports of sales, and as well as make some suggestions for us to edit on the collection tracker. So let's take a look at this lot that I got. This is a pretty big chunk of my favorite things. These are a few of my favorite things. Cold foil commons. All right, no more singing. So cold foil commons from WTR, of course you all know, I think that this is the best way for you to get involved in collecting any form of alpha. Obviously alpha boxes are relatively more affordable now than they were a couple, 6-7 months ago. So that's obviously a great way to get into alpha, but if you can't afford a $4,000 box, maybe a $300 cold foil common will do it. So I got some alpha cold foil commons. I also love the null rune stuff. I just don't think that they're going to make better equipment to protect against null rune. Of course, the common equipment is always going to be utilized in commoner, even if they do print better equipment for the slots. So I did pick up a few more arcane. I'm not as big of a fan of the other ones as I am of the null rune, but anytime I can get cold foil commons, I like to pick them up. So, and this was a really big trade that I was able to do. And so then I got a bunch of Crucible rares, Talishar, some Zephyr Needles, you've got some Edge of Autumns, Mandible Claws. I love Crucible of War. I love the equipment in the set. Aether Conduits they're just cheap right now. If Wizard ever picks up, I don't know that this is ever going to be like the Wizard equipment, but you know what I'm saying. I think they're really great. They're beautiful cards. Obviously, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Crucible of War. Centauri Saber is just a great, a great card that is utilized. And then of course, it's just, it reminds me of when I opened Flesh and Blood for the first time. And then I really think Majestic cold foils have a place right in line with legendaries. I think right below them, I think they are the equivalent for Crucible of War. Anyway, let's take a look at the collection tracker and show you what I utilized when I actually was pricing out this collection. So this is take a look at the collection tracker. Those of you who are patrons have access to this. You guys know when I do my market updates, all these things go into the collection tracker, and the market update videos tell you why and how I found the values that are in this collection tracker. But what you may not know, and obviously it then calculates out, and this is what it looks like, and what you may not know though is that you can actually filter these. Now you can't sort it. If you sort it, if you go like this, and whenever this pops up, you're making a change to the thing, you can always hit, don't show this. Whenever you sort it, it will break. Basically the way that this imports, if you hit the sort button, that doesn't, it just doesn't work. So you have to unsort it, and then it will go right back to normal. But you may not know this, you can actually filter, and this is what I do whenever I am buying or selling a collection, which, I don't sell a collection, but whenever I'm trading, whatever I do, this is how I do it. You can actually filter out for the view so you can see exactly what you're offering. So you can see here for WTR, I've already put all these cards in that you saw. For Arcane Rising, I can take the quantity here for cold foils, and I can just filter it out for things that are 1. And for Crucible, I can take the quantity of cold foils and just filter out the blanks for 4. Now, what I did when I was trading for this collection is the person sent me a list of the cards that they had for trade, and I sent them a list of cards that I had for trade, and I actually put mine like this. The things that I traded would have gone in like this, and screenshot and sent them to the person trading. And then when they sent me mine, I actually did the same thing. I just made a copy. If you go file, and you can, as a patron, you can have as many copies of the collection tracker as you want. Make a copy, and then I named it whatever I named it. And then, this is what I utilized when I was pricing out the tracker. Now, what I usually do, even I do this, even when I'm trading, if I were to have done this trade and it was 2 weeks after I had updated my Crucible War video, even I would have gone back and double checked some of the prices. And, if I had listed a Breeze Rider boots for $400 and it had sold recently for $325 or $550, I probably would have reached out to the guy and said, hey, Breeze Rider boots was wrong on the collection tracker. It's really more like worth 400, 500, whatever it is, because obviously this collection tracker is only updated whenever I make a video. This is supposed to be a snapshot of the value of your collection, not an absolute truth for the value of the cards. And you can't just take TCG low. You can't just automatically do this data because of the sold listings just don't happen that much. I can list any card I want for $50,000. That doesn't make it worth that amount. Even if there are no other cards at that value, it's what the value of a card, in my opinion, and the opinion of this collection tracker, is really the last sold listings, the average of the last sold listings of a specific card. So that's kind of how this calculates this out. Now, that's how I would have done it, and that's how I did do it, and that's how this transaction went, and I think this really provides a really great way to do it. Now, there is one thing to note. If you were doing a bigger collection trade, you wouldn't be able to, obviously, if you filter these numbers out, it doesn't filter out the non-foils. So, let's pretend here that we had, we were also getting in this trade a Crater Fist that was a non-foil, but we weren't getting a cold foil. And then we click here and we filter out the blanks for the cold foil. Well, Crater Fist doesn't pop up over here. So that's one of the reasons that we've utilized this check mark system. So what you can do is you can actually filter by if the check is true or false, or blank or false. And the way that you would utilize this, then, it's a little bit of extra work. You would actually have to come over here and click Crater Fist, and then you would come over here and you would, filter out, and then you would just click all these. It just takes a couple seconds. Actually, you can you click and drag this down? You cannot. So you would just, select all these, and anything that you would be doing for your trade, you then would not filter the number, and instead you would just filter on the true right here, and it will filter out all the things that you have checkmarked. So actually, if you already have a collection tracker, right, and you are working on a trade with somebody, and you already have your tracker out like this, you could actually just filter and see and take a look. At least you could snapshot the cards that you are trading. It would continue to do the grand total of all the cards in your tracker, though. That is an important thing to note. So that's just another way that you can utilize the tracker to take a look at things. So now let's get into these things that we've added. I think this will be a pretty cool thing. We've actually added the ability for you to, in the Discord server, to report if you have an issue with your tracker. So if you go to the Discord server, and at the top of the server you'll see tracker support, and it'll say create a ticket. Just says thanks so much for the support. As with a project this big, there's often hiccups. Create a ticket below, and myself or one of the support mods will be along shortly to help you get set up. So you're just going to hit create a ticket, and it will actually send me a message right here, ticket blah blah blah. And then you can say, can you please let us know what issues you're having? You could just say, my tracker isn't working because blah, blah, blah. And then that will actually continue to create a dialogue between me and some of the mods that are helping me with this project. And it's a great way for us to then be able to take your ticket, make the collection tracker a little bit better, and fix any issues that you may have. Or sometimes it's just a permissions issue that your email address was wrong on Patreon, and I have to go in and add it manually based on the tracker that you created on a Gmail account. So that's the way that works. But then here's the really cool thing. We're going to start this new thing where we do report a fab sale, or if you're a Metazoo person, you can report Metazoo sales as well. But this is the way this is going to work. So cold foil legendaries, they don't sell super often. They are selling more often lately, but there was a long time there where we didn't see sales for a long time. Public sales on eBay, even Facebook, those types of things. But also Rainbow Foil Majestics from our crew, the really rare things that don't get sold quite often. I wanted to create a way for people to report those sales and then for us to validate those sales and have it available publicly for people to see. Think of it as like a public ledger that has some form of evidence. And this won't be perfect. I'm sure I'll get crap for it, but I just think it's another way to do this. So if you're a patron, you can create a ticket. If you buy something, sell something, trade something, whatever, you can create a ticket. And when you go to create a ticket, you'll actually get a message in your ticket thing, and it will say ticket 01. And it just says, hey, thanks for submitting a Flesh and Blood high-end sale. What did you purchase or sell? Okay, I purchased a Heart of Fandel. Okay, what set was it from? Obviously WTR. What foiling? It was a cold foil. I don't want to know your rainbow foil hearts. Maybe in 5 years we're talking about those, as those sales are few and far between. But what was it graded? We're going to kind of take a look at that. What was the price that you paid or that you bought it for or that you sold it for in US dollars? And then on what platform did you sell it on? And then the final one is going to be a screenshot or a link to the sale to confirm. So if you did a private transaction, you can't just lie to me and say, hey, I bought an eye for $50,000 and that's what the market should be. No, like you gotta provide a screenshot. You gotta be able to prove it so that we have some authentic sales. And so then what's gonna happen is that me or a few of the mods will go in and we'll reply to it and we'll say, okay, hey, thanks, whatever. And then we'll actually go here and we will put that sale on on the public document that can be seen by anybody. And this is people can share this link around. It can be posted. It'll have a historical data. Nobody else can edit it other than a few of the mods. And you can, if you want to submit, you can submit a ticket. And it will actually have a picture of the transaction, and you can block out the names and whatever. Maybe we'll block out the names or whatever we do, but we'll actually have a picture of the transaction and who reported it, what the card name is, what it sold for, and what grade it was. So this is just another way. And of course, we're not going to include the grades in the collection tracker and the values of that in the collection tracker. We're going to continue to do raw prices. But what this will allow us to do is see a public ledger of people who want to share their sale reports. And hopefully we can have a little bit more of accurate data on whatever those cards are that we just don't have that much sold data for. So that's just another way that we're trying to make the collection tracker better, and another way that I think you can utilize the collection tracker. And I thought it would be fun to share it with you as just a video. Again, I don't love doing videos where I share what I bought, but if I can do a video that provides some value and allows you to see how to utilize the collection tracker better, or to report some sales, I thought that was worth it. So hope you guys have a great day. Remember to be kind to the people around you. And again, hope you guys have a good one. If you want access to all that stuff, sorry, I should probably, if you want access to all that, go to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG, and you can get access to all that stuff as a collection tracker. All right, hope you have a good day. Remember to be kind to the people around you.